he picked the wrong family, and not scared of a conflict, and we're not scared. We're not running. We're coming at him.
Hey guys, it's Franky. Welcome to the Think Tank. Just make sure we got volume, camera, action. So Lori Vallow, there has been some interesting stuff today, so I thought we could go through this together. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things, so it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? So this is something that I found extremely concerning. And it's Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell describe themselves as a clean couple, no pets, no kids, in a rental application that was submitted while the kids were still missing. Oh my word. Chad Daybell once described himself and Lori as having no kids while they were missing. They were applying for housing in Hawaii while they were still married. Despite the disappearance of her kids, the children were eventually found buried on his property, and we know that there were the charges to follow. He is such a little suckhole. Oh my God. There's like nothing appealing to him about him. Nothing. He looks like a little turd. He talks like a little turd. It's just like, oh my word. So yeah, a clean couple with no kids. And this is, like I said, well, they were still missing. So according to the FBI Special Agent Mike Douglas, who testified in an Idaho courtroom today, and this is the second week of trial, is probably the one that made this statement. Yeah. So Daybell and Vallow have been charged with the death of two of Vallow's kids, Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow, along with his ex-wife, Chad's ex-wife, Tammy. And we also know that she is looking at charges with her deceased husband. So we know that she's currently on trial for first degree and conspiracy to commit first degree. And we do know that at this point they are having separate trials. Wednesday's court appearance, multiple witnesses spoke about Vallow's conspicuous financial situation in 2019, leading up to the disappearance of the two kids and the finding of their bodies. Douglas, the FBI agent who testified, said Vallow attempted to impersonate Tylee after her death and sent money from her daughter Tylee's account to her oldest son, Colby Ryan, who was on the stand just yesterday. Douglas said one late 2019 Venmo payment was captioned birthday gift. Douglas said Colby bought a lightsaber with the money. Rexburg police officer Chuck K, will say, also testified that in August 2019, just before Tammy Daybell passed away, Lori Vallow attempted to buy matching glow-in-the-dark malachite inlay titanium rings from Etsy, but her credit card was denied. So I think she used her husband's. Douglas told the jury that Vallow rerouted Social Security payments meant for each of her children to her own bank account just before the date that police believe that they died. So the two of them were both doomsday preppers and have been connected to a number of deaths. And isn't that the holy truth? Including Lori's previous husband, Chad, her brother, Alex, and along with her kids, Tylee and JJ, and Chad Daybell's past wife. They call her the ex-wife, but he was married to her. Vallow has also been charged with death in Arizona, and this would be the one that is for Charles. Unreal. She's just a mess, this woman. Just an absolute mess. Hey, guys. Oh, isn't he so gross? Mexi, I swear to God, that's one of my favorite sayings. Oh, my word. Yeah, he's just like a little knob, in my opinion. Like he's a whiny, snivelly little shit. Okay. So yeah, this kind of blew me away. Lori is saying that Chad made her feel special and called her goddess of the earth. And I guess this must have meant something real big to her. So a former friend of Lori Vallow's and a member of her small insular religious group testified Tuesday morning about the radicalizing influence of their leader, Chad Daybell. Like, what? Who later married Lori Vallow. And this is, we have to remember, not long after his wife. At first, he said she passed away in her sleep. No. I also didn't know that the brother, Alex, did you know that he died on the toilet? That's what I heard. Actually, not a better place, right? A piece of shit. I made a funny. So yeah. Anyways, we'll get into this. So Zulema Pastanez. So this was Alex's widower, who had befriended the apocalyptic author Daybell with Vallow, and he assured Pastanez that when the rapture came, she would be one of the special 144,000 that was saved and brought to live in safety in cities of white tents. I believed we were doing something good to help get rid of darkness and evil spirits on earth, she testified. Yeah, it's not to like knock off your family and kids. She described Daybell giving her multiple blessings and calling her goddess of earth. She read out the text messages from Daybell, including in one that she assured her, "You're on the team." So Lori wasn't the goddess of earth? He made me feel very good, she said. I started to really believe it. Okay. She was the goddess on the earth, or goddess of the earth. What was... Oh, good Lord. So we know that she became a doomsday prepper through her relationship with Chad, and she did eventually marry Al like 2 weeks before he died. And he happened to have died on that big old toilet a day before the kids' bodies were found. Vallow's children, 17-year-old Tylee and 7-year-old Joshua, were reported missing in 2019. What did they say? Sorry, he didn't die a day before. I thought I was screwing up. He died when they found out that they were bringing up Tammy Daybell's body, not the kids. I apologize. So Vallow and Daybell disappeared the day after Rexburg Police Department in Idaho conducted a well-being check and asked about the kids' whereabouts. They did. They totally bolted. So, yeah, I hope you came far enough along that, yeah. I made a boo-boo there. So let's see here. By December 2019, they had left a string of mysterious deaths in their wake, including Vallow's previous husband, her brother, Daybell's first wife, who Chad reportedly prophesized that would die, and that he did. So smart. In January 2020, the couple was found vacationing in luxury in a condo on the Hawaiian island of Kawabunga, without their missing children. Shocking. In June 2020, the bodies of JJ and Tylee were found buried on Chad Daybell's property while he was sitting in the kitchen talking to his wife that was locked up, going, "Oh my God, I think they're going to find him. Oh my God, they're in the yard. Oh my God, they're searching." So Daybell told Pastanez and encouraged her to go to the temple daily and to focus on religion to the exclusion of all else. He told her he was guided by angels and could see truths of others. So I think they might call that schizophrenic. Others could not because his eyes were not covered by a veil. Okay. Pastanez Vallow, meanwhile, claimed that she spoke to God as well. Lori said she had conversations with Jesus, and I trusted her. Daybell and Vallow exerted an outsized psychological influence on Alex Cox, Vallow's brother. According to Pastanez, Alex Cox is charged along with Daybell and Vallow with the murders of the two kids. And Tammy Daybell, the wife. Absolutely. Somebody took that shot at her, right? Not long before she died in her sleep. Tangled web of their alleged killings had already unraveled publicly before Vallow went on trial this month. She also had like a 9 or a 10-month mental evaluation, and they did say she was fine, sane enough for trial. So I think that blows that out of the water. On July 2019, Alex Cox shot and killed Vallow's fourth husband. Charles Vallow claimed self-defense. In November 2019, Cox and Pastanez married in Las Vegas, and Cox died in Pastanez, Arizona home in December 2019 of what medical examiners determined to be natural causes. He died on the shitter. Pastanez testified that Daybell told Cox he was an immortal angel who once appeared to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints founder Joseph Smith, and that he had been a powerful warrior who had unmasked Satan. Oh my God, these people. Chad and Lori were telling him the only reason he had come to Earth was to protect Lori. Pastanez and Cox said of Cox, Alex believed everything that he told him. He said she and Vallow held prayer ceremonies to drive out evil spirits they believed possessed Charles Vallow, her fourth husband. This is the one that Alex killed. And each time they succeeded, a more powerful evil spirit took its place. Pastanez testified that Vallow came to believe Charles Vallow had to be destroyed. I believe Chad and Lori's intentions were very evil. Finally, Pastanez, who said she has since renounced the cult, the thing that they were saying were evil, manipulative, and most definitely. And they were like wholly manipulative. Like, what the actual hell is wrong with people? Unreal. So I am trying to go through this one a little faster. If you haven't noticed, I will chit chat once I'm finished going through these. This might actually, oh no, I got a nice, interesting one coming up. So this one here, Lori Vallow's trial, live. right? Chad Daybell wired $24,000 to his own children as police dug for Tylee and JJ. Ugh. Oh my word. Unreal.
Tonight at 9, we're learning more about what happened in the courtroom today in Idaho when Lori Vallow faced her only living son, the so-called doomsday mom charged with murder.
So I think this, what was this? What date are we looking at? It's just this is probably an update, this part from yesterday.
Her two youngest children, as well as plotting to kill her husband's previous wife.
It's complicated.
It
Tensions
is.
ran high when Colby Ryan took the stand. Fox 10's Justin Lum has more on the heated phone call played in court when he confronted his mom about the death of her two children.
We've spoken to Colby Ryan multiple times through our coverage of this case, and today was a tough day. He is the older half-brother of Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow, who was adopted into this family. And Colby remained in the valley when his mom, Lori, moved the kids to Rexburg, Idaho. Since then, Colby has been blindsided by tragedy, from the disappearance of his two siblings to when authorities discovered the children's remains in eastern Idaho. Colby testified and told the prosecution how Lori would not tell him where the family had moved to. He said he would text his sister Tylee, but the rest...
It amazes me how manipulative this woman appears to be. Like, are you kidding me? And by the sounds of things, she has had lots of practice. It sounds like these manipulation techniques have been around since she was a kid.
Responses just didn't sound like her. Gilbert police contacted Colby in late November of 2019, asking him if he knew where his siblings were. He had no idea, and his mom, Lori, was not cooperating with law enforcement. When Colby called Lori on Thanksgiving of 2019...
Look at how arrogant she looks. And him, he looks at her and then doesn't make eye contact with anybody. But she just puts her little head there, up her nose up in the air, and is like, they said, you know, people are worried, and this is probably where it's going to go. People are worried about your kids. They're worried about you. And she comes out with something flippant like, that's nice.
Her phone was off. The next several months would be frustrating for him, as Lori was seen vacationing in Hawaii with her new husband, Chad Daybell. Even when Lori was arrested in February of 2020, she didn't reveal anything about her kids. JJ and Tylee would be found on Daybell's property in June of 2020. Then, less than 2 months later, Colby and Lori spoke as she sat in jail.
You don't know what happened. It freaking matter what happened if they're buried in your new husband's backyard. Tell me that matters what happened. You tell me that you did this in Jesus' name, Mom. I have to hear that out of your mouth. You believe it, then you are not afraid. Every witness of Christ will scream his name when he comes back. So you are that person.
I am that person. I am that person.
Christ,
and he will come to you. Oh, yeah, Colby, because that's what it is.
Oh
you
my
don't
God.
even know. You weren't even there.
To hear the entire audio of today's court proceedings, including that phone call and other witness testimonies, just head to fox10phoenix.com.
Oh my God, that evil witch. So yeah, she basically, as we know, had been lying to absolutely everybody about the kids, about where they were, where they weren't. Obviously, she wasn't saying that they were no longer around, but can you imagine her oldest son, the only surviving child, how he feels? You know, and he loved his mother. Everything that has basically come from him is pure shock that she would do such a thing. So exactly what he's saying here is the way I would expect him to feel. You ripped my heart out. So Wednesday's testimony outlined how after their deaths, Miss Vallow stole Social Security payments intended for Tylee and JJ, and how Mr. Daybell wired the thousands of dollars to his family while law enforcement looked for the kids. They are despicable. So this one's short. It's by News Nation, and they've always got something kind of, I've usually got something that's kind of interesting happening with them. Let me see here. Lori Vallow. Not value at all. So this is what I find very interesting. A true psychopath. Expert examines Vallow's body language. So let's take a look at this.
Case in Idaho, the surviving son of the so-called doomsday mom testifying in court Tuesday. Colby Ryan, Lori Vallow-Daybell's son, taking the stand, talking about the mother he once knew and what changed since learning his younger siblings, Tylee and JJ, were killed. An emotional jailhouse call between the two was played where Colby accuses his mom of murder. Jury consultant and body language expert, as well as a member of the Human Behavior Academy. She's the president there. Susan Constantine here with me. Always good to see your insights. So what do you make of Lori Vallow-Daybell's body language, her expressions, her speech so far? I know at one point she fell asleep in court.
Right?
Yeah. It's been interesting to watch how she deflects. Oftentimes what she does is she sinks kind of into her own body. It's kind of like a turtle, brings her head out, cocks her head, and then you see the smirking and the smiling that's going on. This is what I would share with you is you are seeing face to face with a true psychopath. These emotions that are so incongruent and detached from true empathy and compassion, especially when she's hearing her son testify, is a true indication that she's completely detached emotionally. So the incongruency not only will speak very loudly to her son, but also to the jury, which is not going to do well for her.
And what about her son, in terms of his emotions on this stand? He's accusing his mother of indeed being guilty and ripping his heart out in a jailhouse call. How does the jury process that?
Wow, that's pretty powerful. He's speaking truth to power. So it couldn't have been a stronger statement showing how much this has ripped him apart. That jury is going to connect with him because they're going to put themselves in that same situation and thinking, what would it be like for them if they had to speak on behalf of one of their loved ones? Watching him break down and cry and seeing that emotion is very visceral. It will provoke that same emotion in that jury. So emotion provokes emotion. So I think that this was very powerful.
Lori at one point was seen mouthing to her son, "I love you." She also asked to miss an afternoon of testimony. So, I mean, is she completely, as you kind of touched on, shutting down?
Well, I think that she does love him, but the question is, what does she consider being loved? So just because she mouthed it, it was a way for her to send a signal to him like, listen, everything is fine. I love you. I forgive you. And all of this kind of rhetoric that she's playing in her head. So I don't think it was very authentic. And I think that the jury is going to find out the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. And that's true of life, right? Just because someone says those words, there's a lot of meaning hinging on those three words. Thank you so much, Susan Constantine. We appreciate you joining us.
So what do you guys think of that? It's hard to look at that pretty face and think about the demon that's behind it. But I mean, the way she just described it, I would have to agree. That is sounding like a true psychopath. And she's right. Like none of her, I watch her, you go back and you look at all of these different videos and lives and what have you. And she is always so inappropriate with what she's doing with her responses. She's either, what? I don't know what I just did there. But yeah, her emotions are all over the place. She smiles at the wrong time. She laughs at the wrong time. And it's not nerves, So you guys are going to have to let me know what you think about all of this. Do you think she's a psychopath? Why do you think that they were looking for a place for no kids and no pets, and the kids had not even been found? Why did Chad send his kids all that money? Like, oh my God. Just unbelievable what is happening in this case. Between Letitia and Lori, they are so similar that I have kind of problems separating them sometimes. I go, oh no, that was her son. No, that's over there. Because honestly, their behaviors are very similar. Okay, Lori, she's doing things with smiles and using what she knows how to use, which is her face and her figure and everything else. Letitia, she's just plain out angry. And I think that's how she deals with this stuff. She gets defensive, and that's what you end up with. So, possibly 2 psychopaths, do you guys think? Let me know. So, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I'm going to jump off of here, go see what's happening with the other cases, and I'll either see you later tonight or I will see you sometime tomorrow. Have a great evening. Bye.